All right. Sorry, just very quick. Need to sort things out. Shit. Give me just a couple minutes. I need to sort things out. A little bit of technical difficulties, but we will get the show underway as always. I have to also quickly share my screen as well. Give me just a minute while I set it up. La Liga. All right, this should be fine. All right, perfect. Let me get my glasses so I can also see as well. Sorry about the delay, everyone. I probably have to clean it. I have to clean my glasses. You see how unprepared I am? But yeah, welcome everyone to the El Toro show. Once again, another La Liga show, talking about all the games, previewing all the games in La Liga, obviously for this upcoming weekend, along with a brief recap on the Segunda Division as well. And obviously get you guys' thoughts and comments in the live chat as well. And obviously vote in the poll. There are two games I'm probably interested in watching, mainly because it fits my schedule as well, because I'm slightly busy this weekend. But yeah, I'm kind of hoping you guys vote for the GOAT for me to watch the GOAT finally on my channel. But yeah, before we get started, I'll get to the comments. Charlie is on, so yeah, obviously Charlie, if you haven't voted yet, please vote for the GOAT. Obviously, the GOAT himself. Potential of doing that game as a live watch long. Without further ado, let's get started with Celta Vigo versus Leganés in the first game of the weekend. We actually don't have a game on Friday. There's no La Liga games on Friday. There are Segunda games on Friday, one of them being Deportivo. But yeah, we have Celta Vigo versus Leganés. Celta Vigo are more likely to win at 61%, a draw at 23%, and only Leganés only 16%. If you look at the league table right now, Celta, unbeaten in the last 4. The last loss was against Valencia, I believe, back in the end of January, start of February, roughly. But yeah, since then, Celta have been doing okay, I'll be honest. Meanwhile, Leganés, they got a very big win this past weekend, beating Getafe, their big rivals, Getafe, at home with a last-minute overhead kick to win Leganés for the very first time in a long time, actually, against Getafe. And that win could potentially save them from relegation. They are now they're only 3 points from safety, but they are trying to make sure that they survive the drop. But yeah, both teams going in with at least some little bit of confidence. I would say Celta Vigo with being unbeaten in the last 4. Leganés just winning the derby. And yeah, Celta Vigo have won one of last 6 meetings against Leganés, so they actually don't have a good record against them. So not great for Celta. Leganés have won one of the 4 away games against Celta Vigo in La Liga. The only one in which they scored in, actually, a 1-0 win in 2016 when they were for the very first time in La Liga, Leganés. So yeah, it's been nearly 9 years roughly since they've beaten Celta away at Celta. Leganés have achieved 4 wins in 9 meetings against Celta Vigo, which is the joint most against any top flight side. The other one was against Espanyol as well. So Leganés do have a good record, more or less, against Celta. Celta Vigo have not lost any of the last 4 La Liga games, as I said. They have not gone 5 in a row since April 2023. So it's been well, actually, it's been 2 years since they've done that, when they got 3 wins and 4 draws in that. Leganes are winless in their last 4 away games in La Liga, 2 draws, 2 losses, and they failed to score in the last 3. They've not gone 4 in a row outscoring since 2018. So, look, there's some stats that work in the favor of Leganes and some stats that work in the favor of Celta. So, look, it's going to be a very difficult game, I would say, for both teams. Celta Vigo, to be honest, not really fighting for much. Leganes obviously are fighting for their lives and from avoiding relegation. But to be honest, I do think there's a possibility that Leganes could win this game. Not because I'm a Deportivo fan and I want Celta to lose, but look, the record of Leganes is all right, actually, against Celta. Even though it's away, I do think there's a possibility they could get a win here or maybe a draw. But I'll go with a win for Leganes. Why not? I'll go with a 2-1 win for Leganes. That would be my prediction for that game. 2-1 Leganes. Why not? 2-1. Next, actually, no, I'll change it. I'll make it 1-0. 1-0 to Leganes is my prediction. All right. Up next, we have Alavés. They are hosting Villarreal in the next game at 4:15 on Saturday. Let me just go through the comments as well. I just voted for the GOAT Watch, obviously. And I'm looking forward to watching Spurs struggle against AZ Alkmaar in about 40 minutes. Yeah, good luck. I do think Spurs will go through. I don't know if they'll win this specific game, but over the 2 legs, I think they'll go through. But yeah, in terms of this game, Alavés against Villarreal, Alavés, I did a watch long in the previous game, along with Charlie from No Filter FC. Yeah, Alavés, look, they had opportunities against Mallorca. They were away at Mallorca, got a very good point, I would say. Definitely the better team in the second half, but the first half not that great. I'll be honest, from Alavés. However, Villarreal, in their case, they've actually. I've also forgot to change the coloring there. Now we got it red as well. Yeah, Villarreal didn't even play this past weekend due to weather that was around the Valencian community on Monday night. So they didn't get to play against Espanyol on Monday night. So look, I'll say Villarreal have a very good long rest, I'll be honest, which could work in favor for them, whereas Deportivo Alavés, they're in a bit of a rough spot. They haven't won in a long time, actually, about maybe around 2 months already. The last win was probably against Real Betis, if you guys remember, when Kike Garcia, who did score against Mallorca, got the hat-trick in that game away at Betis. But the win probability actually shows that Alavés has a good chance of maybe getting a result 31% to Villarreal's 40, 29 draw. Look, Villarreal, despite not playing on Monday, they are honestly comfortable in 5th place. Who knows what the result would have been had they played Espanyol on Monday. But look, they're unbeaten still, despite that. And Villarreal are looking to carry on the good form, especially when there's now becoming a big chance that La Liga could get the extra spot in the Champions League. So a team like Villarreal are definitely in the driver's seat at the moment, despite having a bit of a stop due to weather. Meanwhile, you go all the way down to 19. Alavés, yeah, they got a draw, but literally everyone else around them got draws or wins. So not really the best result that they got against Mallorca away. It would have been a very big point for them. A big, actually 3 points, not, well, they did get a point. But yeah, Alavés not in a good spot. Only 5 wins all season. Only worse is Valladolid. No shit. But yeah, in terms of the live stats heading into this game, Alavés have not won any of the last 3 meetings against Villarreal in La Liga, so not that great. It could be 4 in a row actually. Villarreal have scored in each of the last 14 games against Alavés in La Liga, 28 goals in that time. So that's 2 goals per game. While against only Athletic Club have done that in Celta. Alavés have 11 wins in 25 games against Villarreal in La Liga, 3 draws and 11 losses alongside. Only against Espanyol they have a good record in La Liga, Alavés. So look, Alavés, this sort of results, this matchup does provide a bit of difference between the two. After winning 3 of the first 6 games in La Liga, Alavés have won just 2 of the next 20, as I said. Obviously, one of them was against Betis back in January. That's one of their 2 wins since then. And Villarreal have won their last 2 away games in La Liga and could go 3 in a row for the first time in 2 years, roughly. So look, Villarreal with a very long rest, I would say, whereas Alavés, look, they're fighting for their lives and all that. Ooh, there's a possibility that maybe the long break for Villarreal might hurt them. Who knows? But I might have to go safe. But I think Alavés will put up a good fight. I'll say that. So I'm going with a 1-1 draw in this game. I think Alavés and Villarreal could cancel each other out. So I'll go with a 1-1 draw in that one. Let me just update a few things and go through the comments as we look forward to Valencia against Valladolid. Let me go through some of the chat. Oh, some new people. SK, big up. First time you're on this stream in terms of like the La Liga show I do. Hamin Hussein, big up to you as well. Today is Real Madrid's 123rd anniversary as a club. Barcelona winning Champions League. I don't know if you're trying to jinx Barcelona, but yeah, big up to everyone that is joining. And also vote in the live poll. And I kind of hope you guys vote for the GOAT. Just like Charlie did, he's voting for me to watch the GOAT, Anthony. So, please do vote in the live poll. I'll close the live poll by the end of the show, which is in about, 45 minutes roughly. But let's try to quickly not wrap up because we're only on the 3rd game. But we have Valencia against Valladolid. Look, I'll be honest, both teams at the moment are okay-ish. Not Valladolid, but Valencia have been okay-ish. Look, 70% possibility that Valencia will win and Valladolid. And I have to scroll all the way down. Only Alavés separate these 2 teams, but they're both in the relegation zone, so it doesn't really matter. Look, both of them winless in the last 3, but Valencia did get 2 wins before that. But yeah, I think, well, obviously, if you guys remember, the last time these 2 teams met at the Jose Zorrilla, Valladolid actually got the win over Valencia, which was a huge blow at the time for Valencia, because Valencia were actually at the bottom because of that result. But now the times have probably changed somewhat, not really for the better for Valencia, but for Valladolid, I mean, this shit. I'll be honest, but they did get a draw against Las Palmas. I will say that. Some live stats heading into this game: Valencia have not lost any of the last 7 home games against Valladolid. Look, they have a very good record against them. Obviously, they lost to them earlier this season. As you can see here, Valladolid have won 2 of the last 3 meetings against Valencia, and both were 1-0 wins at home. So look, not a great away record for Valladolid away at Valencia. Valencia have scored in each of their last 13 home games against Valladolid, 22 in total. So pretty good record they have, and it's the longest such one they have against them. Valencia have not won the last 3 La Liga matches, as you guys saw, and conceding 3 goals in the last 2. Obviously, they conceded 3 goals against Osasuna, but they get a draw, a 3-all draw, and they obviously lost 3-0. I think it was 3-0 or 3-1 against Atleti at home a couple weeks ago, which I did a watch long for. Valladolid are winless in the last 7 La Liga games. I do not see any changes to that. I'll be honest. I'm going to be honest, guys. I can see Valencia getting I would say, to be honest, a comfortable win. I think this will be a confidence booster for Valencia. So I'm actually going with I'll go with a big scoreline. I'm going 3-0 Valencia. I think there will be some confidence with that with Valencia, despite not winning the last 3. But I think Valencia will get a big win, 3-0. I'll say against Valladolid. Moving on to the next game we have is Barcelona against Osasuna. Obviously, if you guys remember this game earlier this season, Osasuna beating Barcelona 4-2 at the El Sadar Stadium. That was actually Barcelona's first loss of the La Liga season, and since then they've picked up a few losses. But now they're in good form. 80% chance of winning, Osasuna only 8. So not great for Osasuna and their chances. Look, Barcelona at the moment top of La Liga, with after scoring 71 goals. 71 goals. That is crazy. And then Osasuna, look, I kind of expected them to be around here, mid-table, 12 draws, and obviously they got 3-all draw against Valencia in their previous game. But Osasuna, they're okay, but I don't have much faith that they're going to do the double over Barcelona. I'll be completely honest. Even though, yes, they did score 4 against them back in, I think it was September or October. But yeah, Barcelona lost their last meeting, as I said. Having they have won the last previous 5 before that loss earlier this season. They have not lost both games in the same campaign against Osasuna ever, I believe, ever. So potential history for Osasuna if they beat Barcelona again. At home, Barcelona have won the last 4 games against Osasuna in La Liga, keeping a clean sheet in all of them. And obviously, last night they got a clean sheet against Benfica, winning that 1-0. And once again, they have not gone 5 in a row while conceding a goal against them in the top flight. Osasuna are the last team to score 4 goals against Barcelona in La Liga, obviously that 4-2 game. And have won, and are the only ones to have done that against Hansi Flick as the manager. Barcelona have won each of the last 6 La Liga games, so they're in a very good run of form, keeping 4 clean sheets in 4 of them, having won just 1 of the previous 8 previously. That's what I meant. Barcelona are the first team to score 71 goals in a single campaign since 2016-17 when they scored 76 after 26 games. So look, I'll be honest, I think there'll be some confidence somewhat heading into this game. Now, you do remember that Barcelona were winning every single game until they play Osasuna, and obviously lost 4-2. But I just feel like it might come, to be honest, a little bit crashing down for Osasuna. I don't think they'll do the double over Barcelona. So I'll go with a 2-0 win for Barcelona. I think it'll be decent for them. I'll be honest. A 2-0 win for Barcelona is my prediction. Let me zoom out a bit. Up next we have is Getafe against Atletico Madrid. Now, obviously, Atleti just played back on Tuesday night against Real Madrid. Meanwhile, Getafe, well, actually, both of these teams played the biggest rivals. Getafe played against Leganés and lost. Atleti in the Champions League just played Real Madrid, their rivals, and lost. So both teams not in the great mood. They want to bounce back from those losses on Sunday when these two play each other. Now, obviously, look here, the win probability for Atleti is not as big as people would expect, and I actually do back it. I think 22% win rate for Getafe, possibility 31% for a draw, 47 Atleti. Now, if you look here, Atleti are second. They got that win over Athletic Club. We'll talk about Athletic Club soon. But yeah, Atleti getting a big win against Athletic Club. Meanwhile, Getafe, they're not really in any relegation battle yet, but they're only 6 points from Valencia in 18th. So, if a couple results don't go their way, then you never know. You never know with Getafe. They were in a good, decent run of form until the previous two games where they got losses. So, yeah. So, what are some of the match stats for this game coming up between the two teams? Atleti have gone 24 straight games without defeat against Getafe. 20 wins and 4 draws. That's the longest unbeaten one they have against a single team in La Liga. That is a pretty good record from Atleti. Atleti have conceded at least one goal in four of the last 7 meetings against Getafe. That's 8 in total, having kept the clean sheet in the previous 17. So, look, Getafe have every chance, especially at home in the Coliseum. After losing the first fixture this season and 5-0 in the Copa del Rey, Getafe could suffer 3 defeats in all competitions to Atletico Madrid in the same campaign for the first time in their history. So something they want to avoid, Getafe. Atleti have lost just 2 of their first 12 away games this season. 6 wins, 4 draws, and obviously 2 losses. And indeed, they have the joint fewest away defeats this season too, as well with Barcelona, and have the fewest goals conceded actually with 8. Getafe have lost the last 2 La Liga games, having not lost any of the previous 6 before, 4 wins and 2 draws. They have not gone 3 in a row of defeats in this season since the last 5 being defeats in the previous season last year. So look, I'll be honest, I have a slight feeling that there might be some rotation from Atleti. That's the thing that I wouldn't say, worries me or whatever. But even if there's some rotation, they could still win this game. But I will probably go with a draw. I'm actually going with a draw in this game. I am going for a 1-1 draw between Getafe and Atleti on Sunday. 1-1 draw. So a big surprise, you could say. Up next is Real Madrid against Rayo Vallecano. Obviously, both of these teams in the previous match day not getting the results that they really need to push for what they want to achieve. Real Madrid being the title and Vallecano being the European places. But you look here, 75% chance for Madrid to win, 15 to draw, and only 10% for Vallecano. Obviously, at home, Real Madrid, they beat Atleti in the Champions League, but they did lose to the GOAT, Anthony. Let me get the scores, even though I haven't previewed them yet. But here, they lost to them. I'm not even a Betis fan, really, but, the GOAT. But yeah, Real Madrid are only just 3 points behind Barcelona in this title race. But should one of the two teams above them, Barca or Atleti, drop points, then Real Madrid could definitely catch up to them, especially with a home game against Vallecano, which they have a very good record against at home. Whereas Rayo Vallecano, it's not been the best few games for them. I think the damaging defeat was that loss to Villarreal, like 2 weeks ago, basically, I believe. So, yeah, not amazing, but yeah, Rayo need to get the act together. I would say that if they want to get into European football, they're seventh, still a chance, but they want to aim as high as they can. The drink. All right, Rayo Vallecano have collected five points in the last 8 meetings against Real Madrid, 2 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses, having lost each of their last 17 before that. If you guys remember, I believe way back, maybe like, I don't know, maybe like 10 years ago, I might be mistaken. Do you guys remember this game ending 10-2 to Real Madrid? 10-2 to Real Madrid, which is crazy. A crazy scoreline. Scoring 10 goals in one game is crazy. But yeah, that I just had to put it in there. Real Madrid have not lost any of the previous 14 home games against Rayo, although they did drew 0-0 in the previous time they played at home, with that being a 0-0 draw. They've never dropped points in 2 home games in a row against Vallecano. Real Madrid are the team who have beaten Rayo the most times in La Liga history, 31 wins and 43, so they have probably one of the best records, as well as the joint most in home games, 17 in 21 games, as many as Barcelona in 22 actually. Real Madrid have lost 2 of the last 5 La Liga matches, that being a 1 win, 2 draws and 2 losses, so not great La Liga form, but this is a game that they can definitely come back on. As many defeats as they had in the previous 53, obviously they won the title last season with 39 wins, 12 draws, 2 losses in the previous 53. Vallecano have lost just 4 of the first 13 away games in La Liga, 4 wins, 5 draws, and 4 losses. The fewest losses after the first 13 games in Vallecano's history in La Liga, actually. So it's been a good season for Rayo, which is nice to see. The only unfortunate thing is that I do think Real Madrid will get a big win. Not like not a 10-2. I hope. I don't want Rayo to be embarrassed, I'll be honest. But I'll be honest, I do think that Rayo could give a good fight, but I'm going with a 3-1 win. I'll go 3-1 to Real Madrid to win this game and to kind of have some bit of foothold in this title race. I'll say that. Up next, on the Sunday, 6:30, which is actually coinciding with another game we'll talk about after this. That being Athletic Club against Mallorca. Now, obviously, both of these sides have been doing quite well overall, I would say, somewhat. But Athletic Club, 60% chance of winning, 24% draw, 16% chance of a Mallorca win. Obviously, Athletic Club on the weekend lost to Atletico Madrid, which was their first loss in 17 games, I think, the first time since early October. So the unbeaten run of Athletic Club in La Liga is over, unfortunately for them. But, a home game against Mallorca is probably an okay, decent game they can bounce back on. Mallorca, they're unbeaten in the last 4, but 1 win in that only, which was actually the only win of 2025 as well. But yeah, the form is okay, somewhat, of Mallorca heading into this game and still competing for the European spots. So, some stats heading into this game. Athletic have lost only 1 of last 13 games against Mallorca, 6 wins and 6 draws. That being when they lost 3-2 in 2022, keeping a clean sheet in 8 of them. However, they've only won 1 of last 6 against Mallorca, so they actually recently don't have a good record against them. At home, Athletic have not lost any of their last 7 games against Mallorca, 6 wins and a draw, keeping a clean sheet in each of the last 3. This is the longest home run against Mallorca this century, actually. Mallorca have not won in the last 8 visits to teams from the Basque Country, so they actually have a fucking terrible record traveling to País Vasco. The last win was in August 2021 at the start of the season, somewhat, when they got 1-0 win over Alavés. They had won 2 of the previous 3 before that as well. Last time out against Atlético, Athletic Club suffered their first defeat since early October. They had a 16-game unbeaten run. They've not lost 2 in a row since a couple seasons ago in May 2023. And then Mallorca are unbeaten in the last 4 La Liga games. As I said, they having lost each of the previous 3 before that. This is their current longest run of no defeats this season for Mallorca. However, in my opinion, I do think it will come to an end because I do think Athletic Club will get a win here. I'll be honest. I'll go with a 3-0 win for Athletic. I think they'll bounce back. And obviously, we'll see how they do in the Europa League when they play Roma later tonight. So I'm going with a 3-0 win. Let me quickly just adjust here. All right, up next we have is Real Betis against Las Palmas. Sorry about that. Still kind of sick. But yeah, Real Betis against Las Palmas is the next game we're previewing. Obviously, the GOAT could do a GOAT watch if you guys vote for him in the live poll. Let me quickly just check the live poll. Yeah, so far. So in the live poll, we're saying GOAT watch at the moment, 67% to 33. But yeah, Betis against Las Palmas. Look, one team is doing very well, the other not great. 68% win probability for Betis, only 13% for Las Palmas, and 19% for a draw. Betis have won 3 previous games in La Liga. Obviously, they got a big win against Real Madrid, which definitely boosted their confidence and boosted their chances of getting in Europe again. Obviously, they play in the Conference League later tonight against Victoria. And I'll be honest, right? Betis, since Anthony has joined the GOAT, Betis, you know, the club right here, Betis, right here, the GOAT. They've been really good, Betis. I would say that been a very good watch. Could do a GOAT watch, obviously. Meanwhile, you have to scroll down for Las Palmas. Las Palmas are still the only team in La Liga without a win in 2025. They got a draw against Valladolid. Not great at all from Las Palmas. If you can't beat Valladolid, you're in deep shit. You're in deep trouble, I'll say that. Unfortunately, it's not showing no insights or match stats heading into this game. But look, I just think that overall, I think Betis are the better team at the moment. They do have a lot of momentum, and obviously, hopefully, you guys by the end of it vote for me to watch this game. But in terms of my prediction, I think Betis will get a good win here. I'm going with a 3-1 win for Betis. I just think that the quality of Anthony and Isco, Sabali, and all that will probably come up good for them as well. So yeah, that's what I think will probably happen in the Betis Las Palmas game. A win for Betis. Up next, we have is Real Sociedad against Sevilla in La Liga. Now, obviously, again, there's no match stats to look forward to. But this game at 9 o'clock, on Sunday. Obviously, we'll see. They're about to play actually. Sociedad or play Man United in about 8 minutes, so in like 10 minutes basically. But yeah, it's quite even in terms of the win probability: 45% for Sociedad, 29 for a draw, and 26 for a loss or a severe win. Um, Actually, both of these teams only separated by 1 point, but separated by a couple of teams between them. But yeah, Sociedad and Sevilla, I would say, have probably been the most underwhelming teams this season in terms of where they could be and what has happened to them somewhat. Um, Sociedad, they lost 4-0 to Barcelona without even making a shot in the game. I know they were down to 10 men, but still losing 4-0 to Barcelona. And look, they've only scored 23 goals in La Liga. They have fewer than Mallorca. They have fewer than Alavés, if you look. Look, Alavés have 29. Espanyol have more goals than Real Sociedad. And Sociedad are in ninth. So look, I'll be honest, if there's a team that I'm not fully confident will get into Europe again next season in La Liga, honestly, unfortunately, I do think it will be Real Sociedad that might miss out on Europe. Just because I feel like there's at least a few teams better than them this season. Even some teams below them have been doing better than Sociedad. So I'll be honest, Sociedad not doing great at the moment unless they pick up their form very quickly. Otherwise, teams will start to ascend above them. But yeah, for Sevilla, look, they've actually only lost one game this year. Believe it or not, they've only lost one La Liga game. That was against Barcelona at home. They got a draw in the previous game, obviously, against Rayo Vallecano. But yeah, obviously there's no match stats. But I'll be honest, right? I could see this being a draw or even a win for Sevilla. But I'll go safe and I'll go with a 1-1 draw in this game. I just feel like Sociedad this season, I've not been convinced with them. Sevilla, I've also not been convinced, but at least they haven't been losing games. I'll say that. So I'll go with a 1-1 draw in that one between the two teams. And then finally, the game on Monday. Hopefully no weather, hopefully no bad weather. On Monday, we do have is Espanyol against Girona. Look, it's quite even, I would say. 31% chance of a win for Espanyol, 29% for a draw, and 40% for a Girona win. Now, look, I'll be honest, you scroll all the way down. They're only separated by 5 points. Girona not doing that well this season, despite having 9 wins. Espanyol have been alright, actually. Obviously, they got a win, but that was like way back because they didn't play over the weekend because last Monday against Villarreal, bad weather, so they didn't play. So for their sake, hopefully they get to play on a Monday night. But yeah, I'll be honest, right? I could honestly say that Girona are not getting Europe as well this for next season. I've always said that at the start of the season. I just don't think Girona are going to be that good consistently like they were last season. So this is a bit of a drop off from Girona, similar to Sociedad and even Sevilla. As for Espanyol, look, they're just trying to survive relegation. They're only 3 points from it at the moment. So if they get a win, that'll be a massive win for them, trying to avoid relegation. So yeah, I do think that overall, heading into this game, I could see this being another win for Espanyol. I think Espanyol, or I wouldn't say the underrated Espanyol or whatever, but I do think they can survive this season. And I think they get another massive result that really pushes them through. So I'll go with a 1-0 win for Espanyol. I think Espanyol could get a massive result in La Liga. I would say that. So yeah, that is the end of the preview of the games. of this coming weekend in La Liga. Now it is time. Now it is time for, if you see the ball right there, the El Toro de la Semana, the ball of the week, the main guy of the week. Obviously, this is going to the best player of the La Liga weekend, the player that was probably the best in La Liga last weekend. Now, I have to look who come up clutch. I think obviously you can put anyone from that Barcelona team or Atleti. Um, you could even go with Diego Garcia of Leganés with that overhead kick and all that. But I'm actually going with. I'm unfortunately not going with the goat. I will say, but but I will go for Isco. Isco is the El Toro de la Semana, the Bow of the Week. He is my pick. Isco is the Bow of the Week. Obviously, scoring a penalty, but he was amazing against Real Madrid, his former club. So yeah, he deserves the plaudits for that, for getting a big win for Betis and really pushing them through into the latter parts of that game and obviously getting the winning goal as well. Now, coming up is the Segunda, the recap for the second tier of Spanish football. Let me just bring you guys up to speed here. All right. So, match day 29 has just finished in the Segunda. And here are the results of the Segunda. So we had Eibar beating Cartagena. Cartagena have been terrible anyways. So a big win for Eibar, not for Eibar man, but for Eibar. Huesca getting a massive result, a 3-1 win over Racing Ferrol, who are also in deep shit as well. Galician club. You also had Castellon getting a huge win over Burgos, 2-1. Zaragoza and Gijón, probably the two most underwhelming teams, or the Segunda, you can say. 1-1 draw. Not great from either. Almeria and Malaga, 2-all draw. Almeria continuing their bad run of form. Malaga were 2-0 down, actually, to Almeria and got the 2 goals that brought them back into the game to get the draw. Cordoba were probably the biggest winners this weekend, you could somewhat say. A 5-0 win, a 5-0 win over Granada. Granada just relegated from La Liga from last season. So look, Cordoba were just promoted from the Primera Ref, or the third tier of Spanish football. And obviously, Deportivo, we won. Thank fuck, we beat one of the promotion contenders. Actually, we beat Real Oviedo. Deportivo La Coruña, Forza Depor. So a massive win for us. Because I feel like we're probably the most inconsistent team in the Segunda, because I do think we're good enough now to really push on with this result away at Oviedo. I was worried that we might not win this game, maybe even lose like 2 or 3-0 to Oviedo, I'll be honest, but we got a massive win away at Oviedo. We scored in last minute by Shimo Navarro. So look, very good win for us, massive win, and we have to push on because obviously we play tomorrow night, which I can somewhat preview. But yeah, we got a big win away at Oviedo, one of the teams chasing like the top 2. Albacete, a 3-0 win over Cadiz. Cadiz, another team relegated from La Liga, a massive loss for them. Seems like Cadiz and even Granada, and somewhat you could even say Almeria, or probably the 3 teams that got relegated are probably not even coming back up. Eldense losing 2-1 at home against Levante. So Eldense, good run of form has come to an end against a team trying to get promotion as well in Levante. Racing Santander finally got a win, a 2-0 win over Elche. I watched a bit of this game. Obviously, early on, they got a goal. Racing Santander. Look, they're now, I believe, top of the Segunda at the moment. I have to check the table. Elche, they're fighting for it. I'll say that. I'll say for the promotion spots. Miranda's have beaten Tenerife. Tenerife also not in a good spot at the moment in the relegation zone. Mirandes, though, are really trying to push to become to get into La Liga for the very first time in their history. And at the same time, yesterday we had a game, Racing Ferrol hosting Burgos in somewhat of a relegation scrap, relegation 6-pointer, but Burgos getting a massive 1-0 win over Racing Ferrol, which probably, I'll be honest, kind of has put Racing Ferrol's hopes of surviving down in the drain, I'll be honest. But look, there's some good games. I think the biggest game coming up this weekend, you have Mirandes against Oviedo. Obviously, for me, I'm going to be watching Deportivo against Cordoba. Hopefully, we win. Another big game is Sporting against Racing Santander. Obviously, Gijon not great at the moment, but Santander are trying to get back into it in terms of getting consistent wins now. And yeah, you have Malaga against Cadiz, so a battle of the Andalusian clubs. And even like Burgos against Albacete is quite interesting as well. Burgos trying to get back-to-back wins since the win last night. So going into, let me bring up the table of the Segunda. As you guys can see, look at the top 6. Look at the top 6 of the Segunda. Oh, is it not showing? Wait, let me hopefully it shows. There, hopefully you guys can see. Look at the top 6 in the Segunda. Just a minute's silence for anyone that's not even looking at the Segunda. This right here, where is it? This is a fucking title race. This is what you call competitive. You prime merchants, right, are saying, oh, the Premier League is so competitive. Mate, the Segunda is the most competitive league right now. In like, I'm not going to say like, oh, it's a big league or whatever, but the fact that we have 6 teams from 1st to 6th on separated by 2 points, and you're telling me that the battle for 3rd to 10th place is competitive. This is a battle to get back into La Liga. And only the top 2 get automatic. The other 4 will go into a playoff. And at the same time, the 3 teams relegated, Almeria, Granada, and Cadiz, all Andalusian clubs, did not even hear. Well, Almeria just like 7th. But look, Racing Santander haven't played in La Liga in like 12, 13 years. Huesca haven't played in about 2-3 years already. Mirandes have never played in La Liga. They've never been a La Liga club. Levante, similar to Huesca, about 2, 3, 4 years, not being a La Liga club. Elche, same thing, 2, 3, 4 years. Oviedo's been like 21 years, I believe. So we're getting some new teams, hopefully, in La Liga next season, which will be fantastic to watch. Unfortunately, Deportivo are not in this fight. Hopefully next season, or hopefully we pick up like a good win streak. But yeah, I'll be honest, this is the most competitive league right now in all of Europe. 1st division, 2nd divisions, wherever. This is the best league at the moment in terms of entertainment and just pure technical value. So look, I'll be honest, this here, 1st place is as good as 6th place. That's how close it is. So look, Racing Santander could be from 1st place to 6th, from top to 6th, and then a team like Oviedo from 6th to 1st. That's how much things can change in the Segunda. So yeah, that's the top 6. The top 2 get automatic promotion. So at the moment, it's Santander and Huesca. And in the playoffs, there's 4 teams that go into the playoffs. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, that being Mirandes, Levante, Elche, and Real Oviedo. Now the team's just somewhat catching up. You have, actually, let me also put Deportivo, why not? Look, Almeria are just 3 points behind the playoff spot, but they've really, really not been this. They've been really bad since the turn of the year. Almeria, because they were looking like they could get promoted automatically, but now their form has not been that good. No wins. They're probably, I believe, apart from the teams in the relegation zone, the only team that have not won in the last like 6, 7 games, something like that. Granada are 7 points now behind Oviedo in the playoffs. Cordoba, newly promoted Cordoba, on a good run of form, and obviously we host them. We play them, Deportivo. We host Cordoba tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. I'm not going to the game, but I will watch the game. No watch long, but I'll definitely watch it. Please, please. If we win, if Deportivo win, that would be a massive, massive, massive result for us because we could knock on wood carry our form. We could carry our form and win more games because our next few fixtures afterwards we have, I believe, if I have to remember correctly, I don't remember who we play the week after, but I know we play Cartagena and Racing Ferrol back to back, and those two teams are a bit shit this year. We should be beating them. One of them is a Galician club, which I did a vlog for, so hopefully we get that. But yeah, but we are 11 points behind Oviedo, despite us beating Oviedo this past weekend. So look, doesn't seem likely we'll get into the playoffs or any chances of that, but you just never know. Hopefully, just at least some good run of form for us because we've not really had a string of results of wins. Meanwhile, you have Sporting Gijón in 11th and Castellón, and then you also have Malaga, and then Gadif, and then you have Ibor, and you have Albacete. Look, we are 10th, and we could go down to like 16th, 17th, basically. Burgos getting a massive win as well last night. So yeah, it's very tight in here. And look, Malaga 15 draws. No surprise that they are the draw merchants right now in the Segunda. You have Real Zaragoza, not great from them. They're the most underwhelming team. One of the biggest clubs in the Segunda, and they are doing not that great. Now, the relegation zone. The fact that Real Zaragoza, the fact that they are now the ones just above the relegation zone because it's the bottom four says a lot of how bad it's been for Zaragoza. Despite it only being 5 points, so at the moment they have some cushion, but they've not been having a string of results that has helped them. Meanwhile, Eldense, look, they got that loss this past weekend against Levante at home. But if they can pick up a win or two, that makes things interesting in the relegation battle. Meanwhile, I feel like it does seem like it'll be the end of Racing Ferrol, Tenerife, and Cartagena in the Segunda. I really do not see Cartagena picking up 21 points or more from now till the end of the season. I do not see Tenerife picking up even double the amount of points, and would only be on 38, which won't feel like enough, I'll be honest. Same thing with Racing Ferrol. I just don't think they're going to have enough. Only 4 wins for each of these teams. And the next worst is probably Eldense and Malaga, surprisingly, in terms of that relegation battle. So it's really the final spot, the 19th place spot for that relegation. I'll be honest, even though Eldense are in that relegation zone, I do not know who honestly might get relegated. I don't know. It could be Burgos. If it's Zaragoza, if Real Zaragoza get relegated, that is fucked. They would be fucked, Zaragoza. That would be as bad as when we got relegated, that point. So yeah, they need to look out. But yeah, that is the Segunda Division, a big division in La Liga. So yeah, I'm going to wrap up here, guys, this show. I'll also end the live poll, and on the live poll, we finally do have the GOAT Watch. I am doing the GOAT Watch, because I will be doing Real Betis against Las Palmas on Sunday, 6:30 p.m. kickoff in Spain. That was the one that you guys voted. You guys told me to do the GOAT Watch, so I am doing the GOAT Watch as my next live watch long, which will be on Sunday. So I'll quickly schedule that after I finish this show. But yeah, it's been a good show. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it just as much as I did. I actually, we had a few good people. Let me quickly just shout them out from the comments. So we had Charlie from No Filter FC. We had SK. We had Hamim, and we also have Madrista Rohit in the live chat. So thank you guys so much as well, and thank you for anyone that also voted in the live poll to tell me to watch the GOAT, Anthony. So I will be doing that on Sunday when it is Real Betis against Las Palmas. So yeah, I'll wrap it up here, guys. Big up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and obviously the next time I'll see you is the GOAT Watch, Betis against Las Palmas. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.